I recently attended Roland's self-production boot camp because I wanted to know more about how my play might possibly be produced. I didn't realize at the time how well Roland's teaching style was preparing us for a rather different world. I thought that if my play was produced at all, it would be in a traditional theater, indoors, and so forth. When we began our class, we were living in what we now think of as the normal world. And by the time we ended, we had seen theaters close down. I think I might have despaired right then if Roland's class hadn't prepared me to look at other possible ways to produce theater. We looked at everything about play production, from budgeting to potential venues, where things might take place, how they might take place, and especially how to work with other people to make things happen. And I think that gives me more confidence that this is still possible moving forward. So I would say maybe one of the best things about Roland's classes is that they keep you from despair. Um, One of the most valuable things about the class was that you get to learn not just from Roland, which is great, but you also get to learn from your classmates. And that's an integral part of the class design and the way Roland does this class is that you get to hear from other people uh, the answers to your questions about your play. And you really, by hearing how other people see it, you kind of get the play out of your own head and be able to see it from other angles that you never considered before. I would say that Roland's style is not directive. He doesn't tell you you should do this, but rather he directs your attention to certain things and asks you to consider certain questions. And when Roland asks you to consider something, you should really seriously consider it. Probably the most valuable thing that I got from the class was about the script itself, was something that Roland asked me to consider about it. My protagonist is a 60-year-old, but she also appears as her younger self in several of the scenes. I had just sort of, without perhaps considering it too much, was planning to have those parts played by a younger actress, all of those younger ages. And Roland said, you might want to consider how it might change things if the same older actress played herself in those scenes at an earlier age. And it really was sort of like a light bulb going off. It was one of those things that make you say, duh, I should have done it that way from the first place. Uh, that was not obvious to me before, and I'm not sure if or when I would have realized it if Roland had not asked me to consider that. So that's one of the best things that I've gotten from that, and thank you, Roland.